Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, let's talk some boxing. You're watching What You Need.
Okay, we're going to look at the welterweight division and how it's shaping up based on the top 10 contenders and the champion according to Ring Magazine. So let's look at the welterweight division. We're going to look at it in terms of three different things. 1, the most recent fights of these welterweight contenders. 2, their future fights. And 3, which ones of them would be more suitable to face the champion. The champion right now is Floyd Mayweather Jr. His most recent fight was against number 2 welterweight contender Manny Pacquiao, who was number 1 at the time. And he's consistently fought top 10 Ring Magazine welterweight contenders. Who he will fight next, we don't know, and that's why we're going to look at the criteria. Kell Brook, he has recently fought Frankie Gavin. Having defeated him, he is now in the number 1 spot in rankings, above Manny Pacquiao. He may fight Floyd Mayweather Jr. next because he made a sensational stamp in his win over Frankie Gavin, knocking him out. So it's possible. However, Frankie Gavin is not a top 10 welterweight. Neither has been Jojo Dan, which was his last contender before Frankie Gavin. So he has still a shaky chance of facing the champion, because compared to other contenders, he may not be the one to fight Floyd Mayweather Jr. You have to look at a number of factors, right? Manny Pacquiao has already fought Floyd Mayweather Jr., so who will be his next fight is a good question. It could be any one of these top 10 guys. Amir Khan, he just faced Chris Algieri. Amir Khan has never faced a top 10 welterweight contender, if I am correct, because he's now entered into welterweight. And so he's had fights against Louis Collazo, he's had fights against Devon Alexander, who just falls outside of Ring Magazine's top 10. And now he's had a fight with Chris Algieri. He did not perform as spectacularly as was anticipated. And some will argue that Chris Algieri actually won that fight. Some will argue that Amir Khan won the fight. It was very close. That was not expected. So his chances of facing Floyd Mayweather Jr., especially given the fact that Chris Algieri is not even a top 10 welterweight contender, are a lot smaller than Kell Brook's chances. Number 4 is Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley has faced top 10 welterweight contenders in his last 3 fights. He faced Diego Chavez, who's number 9 welterweight contender. He faced Manny Pacquiao, who's number 2 welterweight contender. And at the time, Juan Manuel Marquez was number 3 welterweight contender. He faced Juan Manuel Marquez. So Timothy Bradley definitely, depending on how he goes in his next fight, which is going to be against Jesse Vargas for the WBO welterweight championship belt, if he wins that fight and how he wins it could determine whether he is the number 1 contender for the championship. Keith Thurman just faced a top 10 welterweight contender in Robert Guerrero, but he will be facing Louis Collazo next, who is not top 10 welterweight contenders by Ring Magazine's ratings. However, if he defeats Louis Collazo in spectacular fashion, he could place himself in a situation that may even be better than Kell Brook's situation. Sean Porter has a chance, not because of his previous fight, which was against not even a welterweight. He fought a guy who was a junior welterweight in Eric Bonet. However, Sean Porter has a chance in this future fight here against Adrian Broner, who's very skilled, now moving back into welterweight at a catch weight of 144 pounds. That if he could defeat Adrian Broner, he could really increase his chances of facing Floyd Mayweather Jr. next. So, of course, Sean Porter is going to be giving it his all. Diego Chavez and Saddam Ali both are at the bottom of the top 10 division. Chavez having a draw, he stays at number 9. Saddam Ali now entering the top 10 welterweights. So I don't really expect them to be contending with the welterweight champion until they have fought higher level top 10 opposition. Well, on that note, you guys have a great one.